so here it is in After Effects, and let's play that. So it's just going to take a moment to render out, and there you can see you've got a pretty high quality little button. Let's slow that down by actually just scrolling through that ourselves. So there it is, just scrolling around, and check it out on the back. Okay, it's a little bit bright, but that's okay, it's just quickly done. I'd probably turn down that light just a little bit. It's because it's glowing too much up here. Let's actually just go and do that. So I want to go into I like the classic. Go into the classic, go into the light editor, and maybe I'd turn that down to about 83. Okay, that's brought it out a little bit better. Not too much, but let's get on with the video. The next thing I want to do is I want that window there. I want to render queue. I want my project window up, and you can see that's 8 bits per channel there. So what I'm going to actually do is if I hold my Alt key and click that once, that's gone up to 16 bits per channel. So that's changed it from millions of colors to trillions of colors. I'm not quite sure if that's going to export in our FLV when we put it through to Flash, but if you're doing any animations for anything else, for video or whatever, you want to at least go up to 16 bits per channel, because otherwise you're going to not quite have enough colors to go on a TV screen or monitor or something like that. Okay, so with that done, the next thing we want to do is just save this file. So we're just going to save it. I'm just going to save it to the desktop, and I'm just going to call that the wow underscore btn. And another good thing to do with this is underscore 01. Okay, because I'll show you a little tip with that. When we give it that number with the 01 on the end of it, I can actually go to File, Increment and Save. So if you're making many copies and you're going ahead, you can increment and save, and you can see that's automatically produced number 2. So if you're sort of going ahead with a bunch of changes and you want to get back to a few, you've made some mistakes or something, this is a good little option, and you can increase that any amount you want. I use that often. Okay, on with the show. What are we up to? We're going to crop this down a little bit because we don't want to export this whole thing into Flash. Okay, it's still pretty big here. I wouldn't make it this big for the web, but I've made it this big for the video just so we can see. I'm going to click this button here, which is Region of Interest. So I'm going to click that, drag out a square or a rectangle around it, give it a bit more of a buffer zone, up a little bit higher, up a little bit here, maybe we want that to stay where it was. Control and Z to put it back in the middle. What we want to do is move this around a little bit more. So I'm just going to play that and make sure it stays in that square. Let's actually take that back to there. I somehow jumped up the size a little bit there. Now let's play that. Okay, now it's staying the same size. So I just went Control and Z to go back a little bit there. I just stopped that animation, and what I want to do is there's a bit of a large point there, so I can still drag that down. Region of interest there, region of interest there. We can come in a little bit, come in a little bit, and let's play that. And we're still within our zone, so that's plenty big enough, I think. I think I'll stick to that. So the next thing we want to do is I can just click here and stop that. What we want to do is composition, crop comp to region of interest. So I'm going to do that, and let's just crop it down to where that circle is, to where the square was, and giving us a bit of a smaller file for what we're doing. The next thing I'm going to do is, look, we've jumped back to our 8 bits per channel again, so we want to jump that up to 16. Okay, we must have did that when we went backwards. Play it, and we'll give it a bit extra color. Okay, so there's our animation all pretty much done. What we need to do is export that. So what I'm going to do is File, just down the bottom here, can create proxy, and off screen it'll be movie. What I'm going to do here is best settings, and this is the trick to get it into Flash. We want FLV with alpha. Okay, because when I turn on this, we're actually going to just export that with a transparent background in the Flash, and that'll make it sit up on our web pages nicely over images or over backgrounds or whatever. So that'll be good. So we go back into our render queue, and I'm going to save that just to the desktop. Yep. And we can call that comp1. That's okay. That's just the default name, so let's render that out. Oh, if I actually click this one here, I bring over the output settings. What you want to do is make sure that this is RGB alpha. It's an FLV. It will be millions of colors, so it's only given us millions of colors anyway, which is 8 bits per channel. The format options here, if you're producing it for the web, and if I do produce it for the web, I usually put them down to 600 or 700 here, and that'll make it a smaller file size. I'll leave it at its default at the moment, but if you're to put it on the web, you want to make it a little bit smaller. That of course reduces the quality. So that's all okay. Now we're just going to render that out, and that'll take just a few seconds to render out. It's only a second long, and there we go, we're all rendered out. So we can now get rid of that. Now of course what we're going to do when we save our Flash file is we're going to need to save it with this Tweener. So I've got my zip file that I've downloaded from Tweener here, and inside it is Karina, and now it's got another file inside it called transitions, and what it is a bunch of action scripts. Okay, and these are like jQuery or something like that. You include this in the folder that you save your file into, and it accesses all these. So you make a link in your action scripts in the Swift that we make, and then that accesses these. So we'll get back to that shortly. On my desktop I have comp1, and I have a little click here that we're going to use later on, and this will be the file that I save it in, and inside that folder I have the Karina file here, the folder that needs to be included. Okay, so I'll just close that down,